Welcome. Sorry for the delay. We're having some technical difficulties, but I see that there are 7 of you here tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. So hopefully you've used some of this time waiting for us to get together to do some gentle movement on your own. In the future, you can always do some foam rolling while you're sort of waiting and getting ready. While I do this intro, you can continue to foam roll or move. You may also want to use this time to gather props or set up any music. I will not be sharing music. Music is a very personal choice. For props, I've got a towel, a couple of folded throws, 2 pillows, a block, a foam roller, but anything you have or don't have is just fine. The benefit of doing this on YouTube Live is that we can't all see each other, that we are having a communal shared experience, but that we aren't going to be watching each other and comparing, that you can stay focused on your experience and your internal process. We will begin with a short movement flow followed by a seated meditation, and then the bulk of our time will be doing Yin Yoga poses. We will do 4 of them today, and we'll hold each for 2 to 3 minutes. During this time, there is no right technique or posture or alignment. There's no need for that because we're not going to be forcing anything. We're not going to be adding any progressions. There's no striving or goals. During that time, I'll suggest several different setups, starting without any props and then adding a variety of propping options. While I'm demonstrating, it's a good time for you to experiment with what positions and props make you feel most comfortable and allow you to feel just subtle lines of fascial tension. I won't stay in that position. Once I'm done with the demonstration, I'll come to a seated position and you will stay in your position. While you do that, you should feel safe to release all the tension and effort and only experience sort of quiet, subtle sensations. This is a practice of subtlety, of stillness, and of patience. Let's begin. So, arms out, stretched. Inhale here, exhale into a side bend. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend. And you can continue this flow at your own pace, connecting breath and movement. And then coming to center, reaching up overhead, inhaling here, exhaling into a twist, inhaling, reaching up, exhaling, grounding yourself into a twist, continuing at your own pace, feeling the twist and movement from the base of your spine to the crown of your head and from your shoulders to your fingertips. And then coming to center, feel free to roll the shoulders, neck circles, wrist circles, reconfigure your legs, whatever's going to feel good to move a little bit. We'll come to a comfortable position for the seated meditation, and you can sit in any position you want. So you might choose to sit with just your legs outstretched in front of you. You might choose cross-legged. You might choose kneeling. Whichever you do, you want to find a comfortable position. We're not looking for a stretch or any physical discomfort here. We want you to be able to be focused on the inner process in your mind. So if you need to add any extra padding under shins, under knees, propping you up in any way that's comfortable. Go ahead and find that position. And as you sort of settle into a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you, you might have hands palms down, palm up, folded in your lap. And then eyes closed or a soft, steady gaze on the floor in front of you. We will make some observations. Starting with listening. Notice all the sounds around you. Both the ones far away, perhaps outside of your room, outside of your home. To any subtle sounds within your room or in your house. And the sound of your own breath. Allow yourself to observe all of these sounds equally. Observing them without needing to respond to any of them. Observe the position of your body, where it makes contact with the floor, where your weight is leaning, where you are straight and where you are bent. Bring that observation in deeper. Notice the sensations inside your body, inside joints, muscles, digestion, breath. Allow yourself to observe these sensations without analysis, judgment, or response. Gently lengthen and deepen your breath. Long, slow exhales. Open Opening, lifting inhales. Feel how your breath moves your body. Take your finishing breaths. And when you're ready, bow your chin to your chest. Open your eyes. And then go ahead and just gently find whatever movement you feel needed. Perhaps untucking your legs, changing position, wiggling out the ankles, wrists, neck, shoulders. I'm going to begin setting up for our first pose, which will be a yin squat. I'm going to gather some props to be within reach for me. So, one option with the squat without any props is to simply allow yourself to be in the deepest, lowest crouch. Your heels may or may not be on the ground, to allow the head to bow, the hands to be soft. You can have the knees wide and outside or inside. For many people, no propping is too intense to stay in that position in a relaxed, passive manner. So propping is a great option. One option is to lean up against a wall, door, shelf, whatever isn't going to move. Simply allowing you to feel steady without feeling like you're going to fall over. Pigeon is part of the yin experience. Another option is to prop underneath the heels with blankets. Right? That alone can make things a lot more comfortable. Other options are to spin around and let your hips be against the sturdy object. And then you can also add heels, something behind you, and a block or roller underneath your hips. And I think this will be where I will be. Other options as well are to prop the forehead. So this would be one option for a lot of support. You want to find the support and find that position that feels very comfortable. You're going to be having very quiet, sorry cat, we're going to let go of all distraction. You want to find that position that you feel subtle lines of tension, perhaps in the soles of your feet, the backs of your ankles, in the hips and glutes, back up through, along the spine, and possibly even into the neck and forehead, all depending on how you prop. If it's too intense, you won't feel like you can truly passively relax and melt into the pose. So go ahead and find that place, let you all find the positions that are best for you. And as I said, I will not be staying here, as you should not be watching me anyway. So now that you've settled in, let go of fidgeting. Trust your body. Trust gravity. each breath, see if you can let go of more tension, of effort, of holding. As you stay and melt into this posture, sensations will shift. What may have felt like a strong sensation may melt into a softer one, where there may have been no sensation, something might rise. Allow yourself to simply observe the shifting sensations. Begin to lengthen and deepen your breath. Feeling your breath move in your body. And then gently using this breath to slowly unwind and come out of your posture. Moving head, shoulders, gently moving out, and then finding any position, any movement that's going to feel good. So you might need to extend the legs, wiggle the ankles, move the shoulders, do some twisting. For this next position, we're going to be lying on your back. I'm going to grab 2 blankets to possibly support for pressure points on my hardwood floor. From lying on your back, let's all go to the same direction. Legs are going to walk off to the right. And they're going to go as far as they can while your hips stay fully supported by the floor. This is not a twist. You might leave the legs parallel, or you might cross left leg over right. And if you feel that there's pressure points or discomfort in the heels, this is when you might want to use a blanket. On the other hand, a blanket, depending on the surface that you are on, might feel slippery and feel less secure. So whichever works for you. Leaving the legs where you have found a good place for them, you're going to shimmy the shoulders off to the right. And then starting with the arms down, you're going to go ahead and sweep your left arm out to the side. And you're going to stop at the place where you feel a little resistance. Right, before the arm lifts off the ground. So you've gone too far if the arm is peeling off the ground. And again, sometimes people feel comfortable when they support their arm lightly with a blanket. So adjusting any propping underneath any pressure points for your arms, possibly your head, heels, or your hips, wherever you might feel some pressure points with the ground. And then you're looking for a long line of fascial tension on the left side of your body, right? So it might be through the left knee, into the left hip, up through the left ribs, into the left shoulder, and then you can even move your head facing to the right, but straight up is also a perfectly acceptable option. Wherever you feel comfortable to fully release. Allow yourself to stay and settle into this position. Letting your breath be the only movement. Allowing your muscles to hang off of your bones, and your bones supported by the floor. The urge to fidget, move, adjust is natural. Allow yourself to observe the impulse and see if you can let it pass. Notice the difference between sensations that are uncomfortable but safe. Perhaps they're just different. And sensations that are causing harm. Allow yourself to respond only to sensations that are warnings, and just allow yourself to make those adjustments. Begin to lengthen and deepen your breath. Letting your breath be the first active movement. Feeling how your breath changes the sensation in your body. And then gently, when you're ready, you'll begin to come out, uncrossing the ankles, coming back to neutral, lowering the arm, And then introducing any movement that might feel good. It might feel good to stretch a leg or two up towards the ceiling, or to hug the knees towards the chest and rock. Turn into a ball. Stretch long and big. Active stretch. And now for the other side. While you know where we are headed, try not to rush. This side might feel very different for you, and you might opt for a different setup. So we're walking the legs to the left. They may end up in a different place than they did on the right. Find the line that feels supported and comfortable. And then arms at your side, shoulders shimmy to the left, creating a long arc on the right. And then again, right arm slides up, stopping wherever that's comfortable. And then just experimenting from there, whether you want propping for heels, shoulders, elbows, hips, head position, even other arm position. Allowing yourself to experiment. This is your time to fidget and adjust. Finding a place where you can have a passive, relaxed place to feel a line of gentle tension on the right side of your body. Allowing yourself those final adjustments and then settling in to stay in a passive, gentle stretch. Distraction is normal, whether it comes from far away, from me, from other things happening around you, or from your own internal distractions in mind or body. Like passing clouds, allow yourself to observe them and allow them to move on. Gently lengthen and deepen your breath. breath explore new spaces in your body. And as you take your finishing breaths, allowing yourself to gently come out of the position, walking your feet back to neutral, shoulders and arms, wiggling wrists, fingers, toes, ankles, stretching. Perhaps allowing knees to swish side to side. Next Yin pose is going to be a hip stretch for the outer hips, lines out here. So a couple of options without any props before I introduce those is that you can cross one leg over the other quite tight, sort of as if knees would stack over top of each other. That doesn't happen in my body. And you'd be in this position and then allow your head to roll forward and your body to come as far forward. So that's one option without any props. Another option without any props is to have ankle over knee and shins stacked on top of each other. And again, once in this position, allowing the head to nod and the body to relax forward. In both cases, props are often very helpful. I'll bring some of these back over. So, propping underneath the hips is generally very helpful. You might even want to be higher up. And then propping underneath ankles. Another common place to prop is sort of between the legs. And if I was in the more open position, right, between knee and ankle, it's another option. Other options are to prop the forehead because the leaning forward can get quite intense. So to lessen that intensity so that you might stay more comfortably, you can prop, block, or pillow and fists. Various options. Also, if I am in the tighter leg position, right, propping here, right. So lots of options, and honestly, you'll invent other ways that you like to be propped, that you lean one way or the other. Maybe you need to be propped under one hip more than the other. You want to find a position that you will be able to stay in a passive, long position, and that you feel gentle lines of tension in the fascia from the outer knee, sort of the IT band area, into the hips, and then also into the low back, along the spine, and again through the back of the neck, possibly up to the forehead. So those are the places you're looking to feel just some gentle tension, and that you'll be able to relax and lessen that tension. So allowing yourself to make those final adjustments, finding the places that you will need support. go of holding, both in the areas where you feel the immediate tension in those outer thighs and hips, but also watching for where you might be holding chronic tension anywhere. That might be in your jaw, in your forehead, in your hands. Allowing yourself this time to fully relax. Begin to lengthen and deepen your breath. Allowing your head to gently lift and roll up through your spine. And perhaps before unwinding your legs, you use this time to do some side bends or some twists. Just really taking the time to come out of your position slowly and exploring movement, whatever comes to you. After a period of stillness and that internal observation, you should be better able to sense what's going to feel good, what needs to move. Or you might be content to simply come back to a neutral position and allow yourself to observe the effects of the posture. Setting up the other side. So whichever leg was on top the first time, it's on bottom this time. Switching the legs. And this might feel very different. I have yet to meet the person whose hips are perfectly symmetrical. So you might find that on this side you need a totally different setup. You may need more or less support. This side for me needs a lot more support. I would need an entirely different propping system. So whatever works for you, take your time. Just because it's the second time does not mean that you want to rush in or out. And then as you settle in, allow your head to bow. Allow your spine to roll forward. Allow yourself to feel supported by your props. to lengthen and deepen your breath. Using each breath to help you gently roll your head up. Introducing movement, first to the arms, torso, legs. We've got our last yin pose before our final relaxation. For this, we're going to do a supported bridge. And a block can be handy. You could also use a big book or pillows. Lying on your back. We definitely do need a prop though. We want to bridge the hips up and then have those hips supported. You can have the hips supported again by a block or by even just one pillow, multiple pillows. You can, once the hips are propped, you can leave the legs bent. You can go bent knees in. You can have a very soft bend, or you can completely straighten the legs. Right. With this position, you can prop just the hips. You could also prop underneath the shoulders and the hips. And you can certainly adjust the height of various things. Looking for just a gentle opening in the front of the hips, in the belly, and depending on how you prop and where you put your arms through the chest. So finding the height and level and placement of that propping, whatever is underneath your hips, make sure it's underneath your sacrum, your tailbone, that it is not on the curve of your spine. Right? It should be solidly supporting your pelvis. So wherever that is for you, making those tweaks and adjustments now, allowing your arms to find a position where you can feel openness in the front of your body. And allowing yourself to release, to stay. Anytime distraction appears or your mind wanders, or there's the urge to fidget, to do, come back to your breath. Lengthen and deepen your breath. Allowing each breath to both lift you out and carry you deeper. Active, full breaths that shift and change the sensation in your chest and into your hips. And then gently allowing yourself to position your feet, bend the knees so that you might gently engage the glutes and lift your hips mindfully and carefully re-engaging those muscles so that you can slide your prop out from underneath your hips. And then taking any movement that you feel your body is craving. It might be knees swishing side to side. It might be extending legs or hugging knees in tight. Maybe moving those shoulders, giving yourself a nice tight hug. Find a comfortable, neutral position to lie in. You might want to use a blanket to just wrap yourself up in and be cozy. Or you might want to use a prop underneath your knees. Or you might choose to have the knees bent and let the knees fall in on each other. If you've got lights on, you might even want to cover your eyes. So finding that comfortable position, completely at ease. As you stay in a supported, peaceful place, watch your breath flow in and out as if it were a wave. You might even imagine your breath as a wave flowing into you and flowing out. Listening and feeling the wave of breath. Lengthen and deepen your breath. Gently re-invite movement into fingers and toes, spreading and curling, rolling ankles and wrists. Stretch out long and big before curling into a ball and then rolling onto your side. From lying on your side, use your arms to help you gently sit up. Sitting up gently, we will take 3 deep breaths together. We will inhale through the nose and then exhale audibly out the mouth. Inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. 2 more. Go ahead and open your eyes. Thank you. I hope you feel better. You are welcome to leave me questions, comments, feedback, or just share your experience in the comments or in my email. It's Kym, Kym, @zested.net. You can visit our website to join our mailing list, or also follow us on Facebook or Instagram. You can find that all on our website. And then if you enjoyed this and you want to support me, you can do donations at paypal.me/zested. Have a wonderful, peaceful evening.